Located just a few miles north of Portland, Oregon, in Ridgefield, Washington, the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge is a wonderful location for a day hike and bird watching. There is a $3 per vehicle day use fee to enjoy this refuge. The Visitor and Administrative Center is currently under construction, but the Wildlife Refuge itself is open for visitors. Please be aware you can't take pets into the refuge, and this is not an area for jogging or mountain biking. While the refuge was originally part of a homestead, it now belongs to the federal government and is a mix of white oak savanna and wetland. The Wildlife Refuge is accessed via a large bridge over a railroad. While much of the area is a wetland, there are also striking views of giant ancient white oaks sprinkled across the landscape. Right off the trail, you'll see a traditional full-scale plank house. Now, you can't go inside because it is reserved for sacred use, but you can tour around the outside. We enjoyed looking at the outside of the building, which has hand-hewn and painted art pieces on it. It really is a very large and imposing structure in the landscape. We were absolutely in awe of the large pendulous branches on all of these ancient, huge white oak trees. Many of the paths are quite low-lying, and I got my sneakers very wet. My partner needed to help carry our youngest child through some of the deeper areas of water, so be sure you wear appropriate foot gear. After walking through the oak savanna, you come upon a much more marshy area full of migratory birds, including Sandhill Cranes. The cacophony of bird noises is quite overwhelming at times. Large portions of the park are currently under restoration and are closed on Thursdays. All of these ancient white oak trees really had me thinking about what the Willamette Valley must have looked like before the pioneers came through and removed most of them for farming. While we could hear gunshots from adjacent areas, there is no hunting allowed in the refuge, and the deer here are very friendly and unafraid of people. Obviously, for city folks like us, getting to see deer up close for a long period of time is an unusual occurrence. My 10-year-old really especially enjoyed watching them. Autumn in a wetland is a great time for mushroom hunters. Here you can see this bird's nest fungi. Everywhere you walk right now, there are migratory birds overhead. This time of year, lots of ducks and geese, as well as the cranes. My eldest child is really taken with mushroom hunting right now, and she had a fantastic photo safari on this trip. All kinds of diverse species everywhere you look. This witch's butter is edible, but you can't take anything out of the refuge. Everywhere you look, little streams and rivulets are feeding into the wetland. It's a really interesting landscape. We heard and saw all kinds of wildlife, including this garter snake trying to warm itself on the rock wall gabion. While there may be some low-lying areas and we got some wet feet, we really enjoyed this hike in the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge and hope that if you get a chance, you might check it out as well.